Happy Friday. We've made it through the weekend. Right now it is 5:37 on a cold Friday morning. Look at this, -1 in Toronto, -12 up in Timmins. Makes us look warm, right? We're 1 degree in Windsor right now, -4 in the nation's capital, and it is going to be a cold day today. We saw those temperatures fall throughout the day yesterday, saw a little bit of lake-enhanced showers, even a bit of mixing in a couple places yesterday, but right now we are dry. But this is coming for us, and this is going to be a big system as we move into the weekend. We are going to be in storm watch for this one as it tracks into Ontario. As we look at the temperatures today, this afternoon we are clear. It really is the calm before the storm, and the winds are light today as well. 2 degrees in Toronto feels like -1. That's below seasonal for us. 6 to 7 degrees, that is seasonal. That's where we should be. Now as we go into the weekend, temperatures are warming up. So scenes like this, scenes of snow up there, looks pretty great, doesn't it? For us, the southerly wind warms us right back up. We're actually talking maybe 9-10 degrees into Saturday, and that's going to bring 2 rounds of rain. We're looking at a heavy round of rain throughout the morning hours, really overnight in through the morning, and then another round of it as we go into the evening. So it looks like throughout the day on Saturday, we could see a couple hours of dry weather and warm as well, but quite windy. For Toronto, about 25 millimeters of rain. Up towards Cottage Country, about 30. We're also going to be tracking snow up towards Cottage Country. It's pretty tricky up there for places like the Kawarthas. Starts as snow, transitions to rain, then goes back to snow. Places like Bancroft should be staying in the snow. Up to North Bay, we're talking 30 centimeters with this. So this storm certainly has the power to really change a lot of landscapes, make us look like winter. So this is a breakdown here. Saturday morning for us, we in the GTA will be seeing snow. If your travel plans on Saturday morning take you up the 400, let's say closer towards places like Parry Sound, Gravenhurst, Huntsville, starting off as snow. Then into rain through Cottage Country throughout the afternoon. We stay as rain, could see a couple heavy rounds of it, and also the potential for some embedded thunderstorms into early Saturday morning. So it's a complex system. It's interesting. As the air continues to push off further to the east, the colder air moves back in. Cottage Country transitions back into snow, and we see some lake effect bands develop for Sunday. So on Saturday, warm, mild, wet, windy, and then Sunday, we're back into winter. So roads this morning, they're looking good. November the 17th today, and it's a cold start to your Friday morning. So bundle up, layers, gloves, find them this morning. Pack the coffee, bring it on the car. 2 degrees in Toronto, that's a daytime high as we go into the afternoon. Right now we are below the freezing mark as we start off the day. And I want to show you here, we are dry and we will stay dry today across southern Ontario. Calm before the storm, but you can already see it brewing, already coming in on the doorstep here into places like Sault Ste. Marie. We are looking at big snow across northern Ontario with this system. It's going to be tricky for Cottage Country. It's a flip-flop. Starts as snow, back to rain, back to snow. Then for us, lake effect will set up. It is going to be an interesting one this weekend, and you know, it's all going to start overnight tonight. That's when the showers move into Toronto. And we're actually going to see temperatures rise overnight in through tomorrow morning and in through the day tomorrow. Temperatures here way above seasonal, and that means as all this moisture comes in and all this precipitation falls on us, it's going to be falling as rain. 6 degrees in Toronto on Saturday morning. We take into the afternoon, we're up to 9 degrees. Now I want to show you this system because as it moves through, it really is quite complex. And we're going to start off in places like northern Ontario with some snow, with Cottage Country, snow for them. Then rain comes into the picture. You can see the lake effect setting up here. So how do we see so many changes in precipitation? How can one system drop all of this rain here across the south, but then with Cottage Country transition into snow? Well, here's the science behind the weather. And Cottage Country will be seeing some of those changes, but well to the north of us, this is a straight snow story for places like North Bay, up to 30 centimeters on the way. I do want to show you our roads this morning. This here is a live look at the 401 through Leslie, where we start off in Cochrane, Ontario, where the snow was falling this week and a lot more snow is coming into the picture. We are looking at a big weekend system and we are here to break it down. Within southern Ontario, what will we see? The rain, the snow? What would you rather have? I think at this point, I'd rather get some snow. A cold November rain? I don't know. That's not my favorite kind of weather. But What about a warm November rain? Temperatures on the rise as we get into Saturday. And again, those details are coming up. But first up, I want you to know it is a cold start to the day today. Below the freezing mark this morning, warming up to 2 as we go into the afternoon, 1 for Newmarket and Barrie. So today, not the best day. But as we go into tomorrow, well, we're warm, but then we have the precipitation. So at least we're dry today, right? You can't always win. And as we go into Saturday here, we are looking at about 25 millimeters of rain for the GTA. Places like Cottage Country, you start off as snow, you go into rain, then you're back into snow. The lake effect sets up. There really is a lot of different elements with this system. And we can see here, Saturday morning, we are into the rain. Saturday evening, we have another round of it. It does look like some of the latest models are showing we could see a dry period throughout the day on Saturday, just for a couple hours here. Saturday afternoon, we are 9 degrees in Toronto, 10 in Hamilton, 10 for Niagara Falls, and then those temperatures drop and the lake effect sets up. So Emily, you take it from here. The Long Ranger begins. Well, it is great to have you here with us on this Friday morning. We have made it through another work week and a cold start to the day today, so bundle up. I'm going to show you the temperatures in a second, but first up, this is what's going on the show this morning. We're talking about the big temperature swings, storm watch for the weekend system, and then also who will see lake effect snow, who will it target as we go into Sunday, that's when it comes back. We're -1 right now in Toronto. It is a cool start to the day, and we did see those overcast skies yesterday, those windy conditions yesterday, and it brought the temperatures down. Let's have a look at a few scenes from Oakville, Ontario yesterday, throughout the GTA yesterday. So that was the colder air coming in. So now today, our daytime highs, much cooler. Only 1 in Newmarket and Barrie, 2 degrees in Toronto, but that feels more like -1. Feels more like -1. So take that into account as you're dressing the kids this morning and sending them off to school. As we take a look at the storm that's coming in, here it is. We're looking at 2 areas of low pressure sort of phasing together. We are in the warm sector. Overnight tonight, a lot of rain is going to develop. We're looking at heavy rain in through Saturday morning. Strong southerly winds warming our temperatures as well. You can see much of southern Ontario is in that warm sector. Cottage Country will start off as some snow, then go into rain. And Ottawa, right on that freezing line. It is going to be a very tricky forecast and tricky for travel in places like Ottawa as you're just on that freezing line. As we look ahead overnight in through Sunday morning, all that warm air moves off to the east. We are left with the cold air in behind it. Northwesterly wind, lake effect snow starts to fire up. So it looks like Cottage Country in through Sunday morning, you're back into some snow, and then places like the GTA, well, we could be even seeing some snow as a powerful band off of Huron is set to develop. This is going to be the dominant band, and it looks like it actually could start off of Superior and then travel across Huron. That could bring places like Kitchener, Cambridge, Guelph. You could be seeing some decent snow with this, and then a few flurries pushing into places like Mississauga and Toronto, for example. So as we get you Saturday morning, your temperatures, a warm start to the day, warm into the afternoon, 9 in Toronto. We could be seeing double digits down in Hamilton, Niagara Falls, about 25 millimeters of rain on the way. And then as we take you into Sunday here, that's where the temperatures drop off. That's the cooler air rushing back in. And as that cool air rushes back in, well, that's what sparks the development of lake effect snow. So we're 0 in Barrie and 2 in Toronto for Sunday. Let's take you out onto our roads this morning. A nice smooth drive. You are watching the Weather Network. It is Friday today, November the 17th. And as we take a look at some of these temperatures today, the colder air has certainly moved in. The northerly flow, we saw it yesterday, even a little bit of lake effect precipitation, a bit of mixing in some areas. But as we get in through the weekend, warm air again on the rise. And that means as a big weekend storm comes into our backyard, we will be seeing mainly rain with the transition to snow. And we're going to talk about this in a second, that full breakdown, precipitation type to the next, that is coming up. But I want to send things over right now to meteorologist Kelly Sonnenberg, an update on climate change and what we've done right. And you know, we often talk about what we're doing wrong when it comes to climate change, but we wanted to share a positive light there, Kelly. Thanks for that. I want to take you now into Saturday morning. Time for your forecast. Rain develops overnight tonight. Temperatures on the rise throughout the day on Saturday. 9 for the daytime high in Toronto, 11 in London, 13 down in Windsor. If you're going up to Cottage Country will start as snow, transition to rain, then back to snow as the colder air moves in. So this is a snapshot here. Shows you Saturday morning, rain across southern Ontario. Could get a couple breaks of rain in the afternoon across the Golden Horseshoe. Still very warm air, maybe even embedded thunderstorms. Then the cold air comes back as that system clears to the east, and that's when lake effect snow starts to set up. We will see quite the powerful squall develop off of Huron, and that could be bringing in a decent snow into places like Kitchener. Now, when we come back after your local forecast for any Canadian Santa Claus parades.
I know. Are you going to be heading out, Rachel?
You know, I was thinking about it. I want to go to the Oakville one, but it's just going to be so wet on Saturday morning.
It is so weather dependent when it comes to a Santa Claus parade. And unfortunately for Southern Ontario, it is going to be bitterly cold. Out to northern New Brunswick, special weather statements in place for that. Rain and also quite a bit of wind.
Yeah, this is a big storm that's moving through the Maritimes. We also have another one coming into Ontario and Quebec. So that's a look at the special weather statements in place, the wind warnings here. We take you back to Quebec as well, and you can see a very similar setup. Special weather statements in place, and this is for the next system that tracks through.
We also have some winter storm watches that have now been in place. This includes northeastern and central Ontario, and with that, we begin Storm Watch. Here we go, Rachel.
Yeah, special weather statements are in place. Basically, the ones that you're seeing in Ontario here are warning you of the changeover from the rain to the snow, back to the rain, and also for heavy rain across the southwest of Ontario. Windsor, London, you're staying as straight rain with this one.
And there is the slightest potential of a thunderstorm or two in extreme southwestern Ontario. Very slight. If you hear some rumbles of thunder, it's your heads up, but we might not. But in terms of how much rain we're expecting, that is going to be the ballpark of where we'll see the heaviest. But snow is also a big story here.
It is, and for places like the Kawarthas, for example, and Huntsville, you're going to start as snow, transition to rain, then head back to snow. You have to be north of Georgian Bay to say straight snow with this system.
Absolutely, and a lot of it, 20 to 30 centimeters, very possible. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but first I want to send it out to our newsroom. Emily Vukovic is standing by with some of today's top stories.
And the last story that I want you to focus on, because, you know, the days are getting darker and we really need to up our vitamin D. How can you do that? Rachel Schoutsen tells you how online at theweathernetwork.com.
And that was a really interesting interview I had with naturopath Dr. Justin Galland. And basically, I'm going to give you the spoiler here.
Okay.
The best way to bring up your vitamin D levels in the wintertime is to go on vacation.
Oh, I could go with that. It's that lack of sunshine. And, you know, being someone who's new-ish to the morning show, I've been struggling with getting outside and seeing that sunshine.
For sure.
We're going to bed early. The days are getting darker.
And it's something that a lot of us will feel this winter. There's a lot more tips online in terms of how you can bring up those levels, because right now we unfortunately will be in a decline.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. Emily Vukovic and Rachel Schoutsen with you. Temperatures to start the day. So chilly throughout the GTA. I was going to say so cold, but it's, I mean,
I know.
Relatively
Perspective.
speaking, right? We got to think perspective. We're still in November, right? We're looking at -2. Areas further to the north, Kapuskasing, -15.
Now that is where we can say it is so cold out there this morning. Now, before we get into the forecast, I do want to show you the roads here. This is this morning, but Emily, you know, we are dry within southern Ontario, but look at all this snow that is about to move in.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing heavier snow. We're in storm watch, actually, for what's happening throughout parts of northern Ontario. Heavy amounts of snow. We're talking 20 centimeters plus. For us, in through the GTA, primarily rain because we are just going to be warm enough. But this is not what we're going to be temperature-wise when that rain moves in. So today, cold day, we maybe see some sun.
Yeah, I think we are going to have a clear day today. I am hoping for that sun, some of that natural vitamin D. I saw it for, honestly, 5 minutes yesterday.
You have a really good article online talking about vitamin D and how you can actually, you know, tips and tricks on how to get more of it during the winter.
Yeah, and you know, I'm going to give you one of the best tips right now. You want to know what it is? Go on vacation. It is.
Done.
A doctor actually said that. Doctor prescribed vacation. You book that vacation right now. Get those vitamin
There's your
D levels
excuse
up.
for spending all of your money. All right, rainfall. We've got wind also going to be a big factor here. 30 to 50 millimeters down towards the southwest. Actually, a special weather statement has been issued because of that rain.
And then we look to the north, and that's where all the snow is falling. So you really have to be north of Georgian Bay to stay straight snow with this system. I want to highlight this region here. If anybody has travel plans north of Barrie in through Cottage Country country this weekend, it's going to be a little tricky. Saturday morning starts as snow, back to rain, then back to snow again. So a big flip-flop here. So we're going to play it out really by the precipitation types.
So we've got rain anywhere from kind of Kingston along that 401 corridor down through Toronto, straight down towards Windsor. But this is the area that Rachel was just mentioning, traveling up through North Bay, in through Sudbury, over towards Sault Ste. Marie. Very tricky commuting.
Now, as we go into the afternoon, Dr. Doug was actually mentioning we could see a few hours of a dry break on Saturday. So that is something new that we're seeing now in this forecast. A wet day, though, bank on that, and you can see cottage country now into that heavy rain. So that's where we see that changeover as those warming conditions come in.
But then cold front sweeps through, we start to get the wraparound. That is when it's going to transition back into snow. Heavier bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. They could be reaching down towards the Toronto area just in time for the Santa Claus parade.
All right, so that's something we're going to be watching in through this weekend, and what we want you to watch next, just after your local forecast. Good morning. It is 6:46 a.m. and it's a cold start to the day out there. Chilly, below the freezing mark right now in Toronto. We are -1 downtown, and into the afternoon, only warming up to 2. That's it. It's going to be a cool day for us, and we felt those temperatures fall throughout the day yesterday. That north wind came in and really brought in a bit of a chill, even some lake effect precipitation. Saw a little bit of mixing in Oakville, Mississauga. It was wet at times yesterday. Right now we're dry, but this is coming in, and this is going to be our big system. We are actually in storm watch for Northern Ontario for this system that's moving in for the weekend. We're going to explain what type of precipitation it will bring, and all of that starts right here. It's overnight tonight where we see temperatures actually warming through the overnight, and it's rain to start off. Heavy rain as we go overnight and in through Saturday morning. We get a bit of a break in the rain couple times throughout Saturday afternoon, and then again another round of it into the evening hours. Overall Saturday, think wet, think windy, but also warm. 6 degrees in the morning, going into the afternoon, 9. And I want to show you this system as it comes in, because what we're noticing here is lots of rain throughout Saturday, throughout the day. The snow stays to the north of us, but cottage country, you see in that last frame there how it gets back into some of that snow? They will be seeing that transition. Snow to start, then rain, then back into snow. How does all of that change happen? Here is a look at the science behind the weather. And many places over the weekend with this storm will be seeing that changeover. You have to be north of Georgian Bay to get only snow with this. Anyone to the south, multiple changes happening. So for Toronto, Saturday, it's an all-day rain event, 25 millimeters of rain, couple dry slots in through the afternoon. To look at the snow, well to the north of us here, and heavy amounts of snow, about 30 centimeters. Places like Huntsville could see about 12 centimeters of snow, but remember, it's snow, then rain, then snow again. So a tricky system, and if you are traveling north of the GTA, north of Barrie, expect to see some messy weather. Right now it is 6:49 a.m. When we come back, we are going to be taking a look at your Long Ranger. Oh, very good morning to you. It's great to have you along with us. What are you doing over there? She just runs into the shot. It's 7 o'clock. It's Friday morning, right?
It's fine, right? No, my IFB, I can't hear anything in my ear, so that's just like a hint to my producer.
Live TV. Just a couple minutes after 7 a.m. I hope your morning is off to a good start. Couple things that we're going to be tracking today. Big temperature swings, storm watch for the weekend system, and also who will see lake effect snow. We're going to dive into all of that this morning.
All right, temperature-wise, we're looking at -2 right now, so if you're just heading out, getting the kids ready for school, bundle, think scarves and toques and mitts and the whole bit, snow boots, because it is going to be cold, feeling more like -1 with that wind, feeling like -2 up in Barrie and Newmarket. I mean, everywhere across the board is really chilly this morning.
It is going to be a cool day. And you know, Emily, yesterday we saw these gray skies across Oakville. I want to show you a couple scenes of this. And I noticed, I went on a walk yesterday, and I really noticed that it's starting to look like winter.
I know, the trees, the leaves are gone, they're naked, they look cold, everything looks cold. It's going to be the trend in the next couple of days. This weekend, if we get snow, which we could get a little, that's going to be the setup for winter.
We could. So let's play this out here. We're looking at two systems, one well to the north, another one further to the south, more of a target for us. The energy sort of phasing together here. We stay in the warm sector. I know we're cold today, but southerly wind brings up our temperatures tomorrow.
This is going to be moving through fairly rapidly. It looks as though on Saturday, tomorrow afternoon, we are going to see a bit of a break. It is not going to be a total washout. The morning, first round of heavy rain. Couple of hours of fairly dry weather, so you could go take the dog out for a walk. That's kind of the
good idea
time frame. And then in the afternoon, the heavier round starts to move back in.
And you really have to be north of Georgian Bay to stay straight snow with this system. So even cottage country starts to snow, then into the rain, then back into the snow. So this is going to be pretty tricky for travel. Watch as that system moves out. It takes the warm air with it. We are left with the north wind now developing.
That's where we're going to see our lake effect setup. We've got colder air going over relatively warm water. That is a perfect setup for lake effect snow. Heavier bands coming off of Huron and Georgian Bay. This is kind of the hardest hit area. So if you want to kind of talk about the higher population areas in our GTA kind of viewing area, Kitchener-Waterloo, you're going to be dealing with the heavier snow bands coming off of Lake Huron.
For sure. And, you know, if Kitchener is in line for it, too, I'm thinking that could trickle down towards Hamilton as well. And as these bands sort of oscillate, they wave a little bit back and forth. It is not out of the question. Toronto could be seeing some snow into Sunday. So let's get back to these temperatures here, Emily.
All right, Saturday morning, not bad. We're looking at 6 degrees through Toronto, huge contrast through Barrie. And then by the afternoon, we're 9 through Oakville, 9 in Burlington, 9 through Toronto. So really, really mild with those southwesterly winds. The rainfall forecast, some areas getting hit harder than others. We're looking at, generally speaking, 15 to 25 millimeters. But interestingly enough, down towards kind of that Kitchener-Waterloo region, that's where we could see heavier rain. So we've got heavy rain, the potential for snow, mixing. It's going to be a bit of a mess.
This system really bringing in everything as we go into the weekend. And then here it is, the colder air that moves in for Sunday. Freezing mark for Barrie, 3 degrees for Toronto, and of course, many Santa Claus parades this weekend. Santa's going to be busy. And Emily, I hope Santa has multiple jackets because he's going to need a waterproof one. He's going to need a warmer one for Sunday. So Santa, if you're watching, make sure you're prepared for Ontario's weather.
Santa knows how to roll. He's good. Coming up, your local forecast details. Don't go anywhere.
There's a lot of Christmas happening this weekend. Are you excited about it? The Christmas market officially launches on Friday. Such an iconic event for Toronto. And you know, Santa Claus, he is going to be very busy this weekend. There are multiple Santa Claus parades happening Saturday morning. Kitchener, Newmarket, Niagara, as well as Oakville, all hosting Santa Claus parades. He's going to be busy, and I think Santa's going to be a little wet on Saturday because we are looking at Saturday being the warm day as the system comes in, and that means showers, rain. So think waterproof as you're going to these events. Barrie and Brampton's parade, both of them happening Saturday evening at 5 p.m. We're still likely to be in the rain. It's going to be pretty much a washout of a day. Oshawa, the tree lighting ceremony, that happens at Friday tonight, 6:45 at the Civic Center. We should be dry for this, so that is the good news. But wet weather moving in for the weekend. And then on Sunday, the afternoon parades in Guelph, in Milton, in Toronto. Enjoy, but it looks like we could be seeing a little bit of lake effect snow. Perfect for Santa. Hey, good morning and happy Friday. An exciting day today. The Toronto Christmas Market in the Distillery District, it is officially open for business. I love the Christmas market. Really starts to get us into the season, right? And with multiple Santa Claus parades happening this weekend as well, I know you need that forecast. And we are going to get into that forecast. We're showing you the colder air that's moving in today, but look, in through the weekend, the warm air builds back in. And we'll tell you what all of this means as an approaching system comes through. But right now, I want to get you this update from Kelly Sonnenberg on climate change and what we've done right. Have a look. And you know, we often talk about the negatives of climate change and the bad path we're going on. So we wanted to share some of the more positive sides of it. Kelly, thanks for that. Now, you need to know this forecast as we get into the weekend, right? Warm, wet, windy. That's the story for Saturday. Saturday morning, could even hear a few rumbles of thunder with this. It's heavy rain through the morning, couple breaks as we go into the afternoon, and then another heavy round of rain into the evening. For places like Barrie, this is a straight rain story. Up to cottage country, starting off as snow, transitioning to rain, then going back to snow because temperatures will fall. Essentially, we see all the warm air push in first, but then as this system continues to clear, as it moves out of the way, it takes the warm air with it, and we are left with cold air in behind it. The northwesterly wind sets up, and look at this. Off of Georgian Bay, we're likely to get some squalls, and a bigger squall, a more impactful squall will form off Huron. Kitchener, Guelph, Cambridge area, we're looking at you for some snow for Sunday. Oh, Michelle, we are starting to get into the Christmas season. I know you thought I was going to say the winter season with our winter forecast, but Christmas today, because do you know what opens today?
Am I wrong to guess the Toronto Christmas market?
You are not wrong Look at all in the distillery district.
Yes.
Oh boy, I love that event. I know you went with your mom last year. I went with my mom too, and it really is such a nice mother-daughter thing to do. If you've never been,
you have to go. You
Yeah.
can go with anyone pretty much and have a fun time. My aunt is coming down from Kingston in a couple of weeks, and we're going to go check it out together. The food, the gift ideas, the food.
the food.
It
It is so much fun. Oh, I loved it. And you know, the cooler weather this morning is certainly perfect. Rain moving through the Maritimes today, and winds still very strong.
Yeah, we still have Wreckhouse and Le Souet's wind warnings in place. Those should linger for Le Souet's through this afternoon. They're only just beginning in Newfoundland, and that goes for the rain as well. That is moving in this afternoon and spreading east through the overnight.
Now, the east is a very active portion of the country right now. We have lots of warnings, watches in place, special weather statements as well, and this is where our storm watch coverage starts.
One of the areas where we could easily see over 20 centimeters of snow. And Rachel, winter storm watches are in place here, and that is because it's not just the snow that's a concern, it's the wind.
Yeah, we are seeing so many multiple elements come into place with this. Across southern Ontario there, you see down towards Windsor and London, that's due to the very heavy rainfall. Cottage country special weather statement because of the changeover, snow to rain, then back to snow.
Yeah, for example, if you live in the Peterborough area, the Kawarthas, we're likely going to be waking up to some snow on Saturday morning, changing over to rain, but up towards Algonquin Park, it is staying as snow. But as you mentioned, quite a lot of rain to the southwest, but it's all about the snow to the north.
It is. We could be seeing up to 30 centimeters for places like North Bay. And when we see a lot of snow like that, for many people, they think, okay, it's a good day to stay inside and eat. Emily has those cold weather comfort foods right now.
And the last story that I want you to focus on, because, you know, the days are getting darker and we really need to up our vitamin D. How can you do that? Rachel Schoutsen tells you how online at theweathernetwork.com.
Yeah, vitamin D is so important in the winter months.
Absolutely. And you know, one of the best ways to get vitamin D is to go on a vacation.
Oh,
Winter vacation.
I could certainly do that. Okay, right now, find out if you need a vacation. It's your local forecast. You can see what the weather has in store for you today and into the weekend.
Good morning. Emily Vukovic and Rachel Schoutsen with you. Hope you're having a great start to the day. Happy Friday. It's a cold one though, so make sure you're bundling up as you just get ready to head out the door. Seat warmers maybe, putting the heat on in the car. Did you today?
Yeah, I had the heat on in the car full blast, and you know, usually I have my car in the garage, but yesterday I got the rust proofing done before the winter, so you shouldn't put it on your driveway or in the garage, so my car was extra cold out there this morning.
Yeah, it's a chilly start. Look at that temperature. We're looking at -2 for Toronto. System moving in for the weekend today. Not a bad start to the day. We're seeing a little bit of blue sky. Could see a little sunshine today, but this is just weekend right here.
And you know, Emily, I know it's cold today, but today I think perfect weather for something big that's happening in Toronto today. Do you know what opens today in Toronto?
The Christmas market.
The Christmas market in the Distillery District.
I actually didn't know that, but I know her so well.
Just from my
I know what
reaction.
she gets excited about, and that would be it.
It is. So that is officially open today, and yeah, that runs till Christmas. That'll be a great event. So this afternoon, we are 2 in Toronto. Feels more like 0. So think about that, what it feels like as you're dressing the kids. Think about them at recess. It's going to be cool out there.
It is. So we've got rain on the way for the weekend. This system is going to start through the overnight tonight down towards the southwest, move into the Toronto area pre-dawn. We're looking at about 15 to 25 millimeters. Southwest winds, so our temperatures, they're really going to be warming up again tomorrow.
Now, this system is bringing in a lot of snow as well, but you have to be north of Georgian Bay to see straight snow with this system. No changeover. That means everybody in cottage country, they're sort of in the middle of that. So
Yeah.
it's snow to start, then back to rain, then getting into snow. So if your travel plans do take you up the 400, up Highway 11, you will be running into some very changeable conditions.
Yeah, we're going to start off as rain, and then what's going to happen, as Rachel was just mentioning, here are the changeable conditions. You go from snow, the potential for some freezing rain, back into rain, and then behind this, we're going to start to see our lake effect setup with those winds shifting behind the cold front to that northwesterly wind.
And it does look like we'll have a band off Georgian Bay, but the bigger, more powerful band, it's likely to form off Superior and then carry over Huron, bringing snow along Kincardine, Listowel, right into Kitchener, even Hamilton. As this band waves back and forth Toronto, you do have the possibility of getting into some snow.
Now for Saturday, temperatures really mild. We're looking at 11 in London, 9 through Toronto, 7 up through Barrie. So there's going to be that transitional kind of area right here. And if you are traveling to Ottawa, by the way, if you're traveling east, 401 corridor, that 416, 417, could see a little bit of freezing rain.
Yeah, and then here's your temperatures for Sunday. Much colder as that low leaves. It takes the warm air with it. So that is right out of here for Sunday. We are cool, and of course, Santa Claus parades on Sunday. Bit of snow.
Yeah, could see a few flakes through the city of Toronto and in through Aurelia at -1 in Milton. 3 degrees. Looks as though all that will be snow with temperatures too cold in the atmosphere.
All right, when we come back, Force of Nature is up next. We'll take you to an update on what happened in South Korea. Good morning. It is 7:46 a.m. and you are watching the Weather Network. I'm Rachel Schoutsen, and it is a cold start to the morning this morning. Heater on in the car. You probably will need that. Gloves for yourself or the kids. Dress in layers today because we really have taken a drop when it comes to our temperatures. This afternoon, the daytime high in Barrie is 1. Feels more like -1. Toronto will feel more like 0 today. And you know, this really is some perfect weather to bring in the Christmas market. That officially starts in the Distillery District today. We have the Santa Claus Parade tomorrow in places like Oakville tomorrow morning. Big one in Toronto on Sunday, and a big change in the weather as we go through the weekend. We actually yet again are warming up into Saturday. I know it's been a roller coaster when it comes to these temperatures, right? You can see the next system here well to the north of us. That is bringing snow in through northern Ontario today. For us, we stay dry. This is the calm before the storm, and even the winds. The winds have eased as well. As we look overnight tonight, this is the rain. The rain comes in for us. Temperatures warming overnight and in through Saturday. So that means if you live in the Golden Horseshoe, you will be seeing straight rain with this system. But to the north of us, it's a big mix. Right on that freezing line, places like Huntsville see snow, then rain, then back to snow. And here is how that changeover happens, the science behind the weather. And that's exactly what will be happening. And, you know, for us in Toronto, we're not going to see the changeover in that sort of form. We'll see the changeover in terms of lake effect snow coming into the picture. And that's very different from system snow. So this is the system, an area of low pressure that's bringing us rain throughout the day on Saturday, couple breaks through the afternoon, snow well to the north, colder air comes back, cottage country gets back into the snow. And then this here, this is northwesterly winds developing, bringing us snow, the cold air over the warm Great Lakes. So it's different from a system, an area of low pressure. This is the wind now and the cold air over a warm body of water, triggering that instability and bringing us some snowfall. So our rain for Saturday, about 25 millimeters on the high end, and then into Sunday, we are looking at just some flurries across Toronto as the lake effect bands set up. Just want to show you the roads this morning. We'll kick things off in Cochrane, Ontario, well to the north of us, north of Timmins here. And the snow shovels, oh, they've been put to good use. Look at all that snow. And more snow is on the way with the weekend system. And this weekend system is something that we're going to be seeing here within southern Ontario as well. But the key for us, warm enough to rain, warm conditions. As we start off today, it is a cool start to the morning. 2 degrees, that's it as we go into the afternoon. 1 in Barrie for Newmarket and Guelph. Dry today, though. Calm before the storm today. The winds are light, but tomorrow it is windy, it is wet, it is warm as well, and we've got about 25 millimeters of rain on the way. Now, not everyone is going to stay as straight rain. For us in the GTA, yes, straight rain. But let's say your travel plans take you up the 400, up Highway 11 into cottage country, starting off early Saturday morning as snow, then transitioning into rain, and then going back to snow. You really have to be north of Georgian Bay to get all snow with this next system. Saturday afternoon, we are 9 degrees in Toronto, and it does look like the rain will come in heavy throughout the overnight in the morning. We could see a couple dry hours through the afternoon, and then another round of that as we go into Saturday evening. Now, the cold air, that's also coming back. It filters in Saturday evening and in through Sunday, and that's where we could see the development of some lake effect snow. So, Emily, you take it from here. What's going on with that lake effect for Sunday? Well, good morning. You've tuned in just in time. About to take a look at our developing stories. And Emily, we got some big temperature swings going on. Storm watch for the weekend system, especially to the north. And then who will see that lake effect snow? Because we know this is coming into the picture for Sunday.
You know what, Rachel, though? I think a lot of people are going to be excited to see a little bit of snow. First real snowfall of the season. I'm talking to you in Kitchener and Waterloo. Listowel, that could be accumulating. Temperatures this afternoon, cold. We're only going to get up to a daytime high of 2. That's well below our seasonal average. It's going to feel closer to 0 when you factor in the wind. The wind winds certainly dying down today compared to yesterday.
Yeah, the winds are actually pretty easy to deal with today. Yesterday, I want to show you some scenes from Oakville. Some of the winds brought in those gray skies, brought in a little bit of lake effect showers as well.
Did you take that video?
I did take this
video.
video.
Did you get down on the ground to shoot that grass?
I did.
You
got
did.
right
Good girl.
down, got a good angle on that. And then I also ran into a little bit of rain as well. That was some of that lake effect rain. But you know, Emily, yesterday I actually went to go and get my car rust proof to get it ready to go for the winter. And I thought, you know, I'm going to go for a walk, go for a nice walk. Yeah. And I ended up getting kind of a little bit lost. I walked way too far. I walked for an hour and a half yesterday. So I'm like, okay, let me take all those videos.
Good for you. That's dedication,
nice
people. That is dedication.
It was a nice day.
All right, we've got a clear-ish day today. We've got winds that are going to be shifting to more of a southwesterly direction by this evening. Rain starts to move in through the overnight. For us in Toronto, this is primarily a rain event. We are going to see a heavier band coming into the southwest. We might get a break tomorrow, Rachel. This is a big deal.
Yeah, it looks like there could be a bit of a dry slot moving through places like Toronto. So a key opportunity to, let's say, just get outdoors, walk the dog, enjoy conditions while it's still a little warm. One thing I want to point out here is the snow that will start off early on Saturday. Then the rain comes in. So cottage country really seeing this up-down fluctuation in temperatures, a lot of different types of precipitation.
Now, once this low moves through, cold front associated with it, we are going to start to see our wind shift to that more northwesterly direction. That is going to drop our temperatures significantly.
Oh, yeah.
And that is going to ramp up that lake effect snow. So we're going to see bands off of Huron as well as Georgian Bay. Some of them may be moving in through the GTA. We're talking about this one specifically, Rachel, the one that's going to be bringing that snow, Kincardine, Listowel, Kitchener, all the way down to Hamilton potentially.
Yeah, and you know, for some people, this could be a bit of a shovel. We're not talking crippling lake effect snow because this will be dying down into Monday morning. But for places in Kitchener, I'm thinking this could be a little surprising for some people on
We might
Sunday.
be building a snowman. Oh, online we have this great how to build the perfect snowman.
Oh,
yeah.
And what is the trick?
Well, I'm not going to give it away.
Okay.
You're going to have to check it out at theweathernetwork.com.
Here's your temperatures for Saturday, 6 degrees in Toronto. That's as we start off the morning. So mild air warming through the overnight into the morning. Saturday afternoon, wet, 9 degrees in Toronto. And then we really drop into Sunday. So this is how much rain we're expecting for the GTA.
Yeah, about 15 to 25 millimeters for the city center. Down towards the southwest, we do have a special weather statement in place. And then up towards cottage country, about 15 to 30 millimeters.
And here's the cold air. Sunday, 3 degrees in Toronto. Santa Claus parade happening in Toronto.
Bundle.
Good weather for Santa, though.
That's such a good weather if we do see that
Honestly,
sunshine to sit there bundled up, hot
Perfect.
chocolate, mitts, hats, fun.
It almost makes you want to go, right?
No.
Emily, we love you. 7-day forecast here in Barrie. You can see the showers, the snow showers, Sunday into Monday. That is hinting at the lake effect. And before we go here, hey, we got to mention this.
Yes, our winter forecast premieres on the 20th, all-day event. Don't want to miss it. Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the Weather Network. Happy Friday. Emily Vukovic and Rachel Schoutsen with you. We've been talking about this. It's like the impending doom. Like, dun, dun, dun.
What's coming?
Yeah, we've got a storm on the way. And it's your classic fall storm. We've got a lot of rain. There's going to be a lot of wind. We've got some snow mixed in. It's going to be one of those weekends where you either say, forget it, I'm getting dressed up and I'm just going to bear the elements and I'm going to have a good time, or you're going to hunker down inside and just watch movies.
A hot cocoa kind of weekend, some wine at night, make a really good hearty dinner.
Let's go over to Rachel's.
I'm happy it's Friday, actually.
My kids want to go to the parade. We're coming to your house.
Here's a look at your temperatures as we go into this afternoon. Get warm this morning because we are going to feel the cool chill all day today. 2, that's a daytime high. Feels more like -1. Hamilton will feel like 0. So just a heads up, if you're planning the outfit this morning, sending the kids off to school, think about dressing in layers and wear gloves today.
All right, we're talking rainfall totals. Some areas getting hit a lot harder than others. We're talking about the southwest, 30 to 50 millimeters of rain. We do have a special weather statement issued there. Up towards that 401 corridor, the QEW, and around Niagara and up towards Toronto, in through areas east of the city, 15 to 25 millimeters, and then about 15 to 30 millimeters to the north.
Now, what's interesting about the north here, specifically within cottage country, is it starts off as snow, goes to rain, and then back to snow again. So very changeable when we talk precipitation here. You really have to be north of Georgian Bay to stay as straight snow with the system. But hey, snow blowers, I think they're going to be being used in this region.
All right, if I'm driving here, Rachel, what highways do I have to be worried about?
Yeah, so Highway 11, 118, as well as the 400 going north. This is where we're going to be seeing some very changeable conditions. So snow early morning on Saturday, then transitioning to rain, and then back to snow late Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So winter tires, you need them for something like this.
It's really messy. If you haven't made your appointment, if you can get in today, beg and bribe your mechanic, I don't know. Okay, so here's the look at this is kind of how the situation plays out. Here's that rain to start. Then as we get into the afternoon, we start to see that transitional period through those areas that we were just mentioning, risk of freezing rain, and then look at the heavier bands of rain coming in. Now, this is not to say we are going to see a complete washout through the city of Toronto. We're not. We're going to get a few hours of dry weather around midday into the early afternoon before the second heavier band comes in through the late afternoon into the evening.
Yeah, and I think that's the key here. When it rains, it is going to be heavy.
When it rains, it pours.
I was going to say it, and I'm like, no, hold back, don't go for that one.
I'll do it. I'll do it for you.
Yeah. And then the cold air comes in on Sunday, and the lake effect snow should be intense, especially places like Kitchener. We're going to watch for this region to see some pretty good snow on Sunday.
Yeah, lots of accumulation potentially. Fingers crossed for kids that love snow.
All right.
Coming up, Force of Nature, we take...
Happy Friday. We've made it through another week with big temperature swings, big storm coming in for this weekend. So I'm glad you're here with us at the Weather Network. We're explaining what you can expect as we go through the weekend. Santa Claus is going to be in town this weekend, and I hope he has multiple jackets. He certainly is going to need a waterproof one and then one to keep him warm on Sunday. This afternoon, we are 1 in Barrie, 2 in Toronto. Feels a little more like -1. So remember, dress for the feels like temperature. Those winds have really eased when we compare yesterday to today. A much calmer wind, but it really is just the calm before the storm, because look at this. We have a lot of snow developing way to the north of us, and as this system approaches southern Ontario, we are in the warm sector. Warm air being generated into our backyards as the moisture moves through, so that means it's falling as rain. We see lots of rain moving through the overnight in through Saturday. It's going to be a very wet day. Places like Cottage Country, though, won't start off as rain, start off as snow, into rain, then back to snow again. There's multiple different types of precipitation coming along with this system, and we'll explain why that happens right here in the Science Behind the Weather. All right, so now you know a little more, and that changeover is going to happen quite a bit as we go through this weekend. Saturday afternoon, it is all about rain. We could see a few breaks throughout Saturday afternoon, but another round heavy in through the evening. So think of it as 2 rounds of rain. Morning, heavy, a little bit of a break, evening yet again. And as a little bit of moisture still lingers in the atmosphere into the evening hours of Saturday into Sunday, the air is cooling, and that's where we could see some mixing up towards Cottage Country, so back into snow. Then they'll see some straight snow as that system leaves. Now, the next element is this. See these bands that are forming off the Great Lakes here? That is lake effect snow. Snow squalls. And looks like the most powerful band should form off of Huron, Kitchener, Guelph. We're looking at you to be picking up some accumulating snow with this one. So when we talk rain here, remember, Saturday is the rainy day, about 15 to 25 millimeters of rain for the GTA, heavier amounts up through Cottage Country, and to see straight snow with this system, you have to be well to the north. Up towards places like North Bay, 30 plus centimeters. Now, we have your Long Ranger coming up next, and we'll talk about that lake effect into Monday. We start off in Cochrane, Ontario, where the snow was falling this week and a lot more snow is coming into the picture. We are looking at a big weekend system, and we are here to break it down.